Hello and welcome to the 50-cent tour of Monday, July 29th, 2013. Please find a seat on the Liberty bus because we got a long way to go and a short time to get there. The first thing I want to mention this morning is Pentagon says they have lost control to independent media led by Drudge. And Alex was talking about this morning, evidently. He was also talking about it last night or yesterday afternoon. Very significant information here. That the Pentagon has actually said we're not being effective in telling lies because they find us out right away anyway. So let's start to tell them the truth. So I just think that is tremendously significant. And Lyndon LaRouche has a special plea right now to contact Congress about the restoration of the Glass-Steagall Act. They are evidently going to be taking a recess soon. And Lyndon LaRouche is hoping that there's pressure on them to vote this through before they leave for their break. So if you have a minute, you might look at that. And if you have a couple minutes to shoot an email to Congress or phone call, fax, whatever, let them know that you would like to see them take action on the Glass-Steagall reincarnation. Now, I almost never have Twitter on as a screen, but the criminal forces in control of our government are very close to falling. Live report today at 4 Central Time. And there is a URL there, infowars.com/show. Alex Jones tweeted this yesterday, and one point I do just want to make today is that it does appear that we are making headway against evil. The fact that the Pentagon feels pressure to tell the truth, and Glass-Steagall is tremendous protection against irresponsible banking. And the ball is moving down the field. And I do just want to make that point. Fed economist fired for investigating suspicious 9/11 cash transfers, and Steve Keen exposes financial fallacies. This is just, the 9/11 story is wearing more and more thin. The veil behind which the cabal has been hiding in the U.S. is wearing more and more thin. Would you be surprised to learn that tens of billions in cold hard cash was shuffled around just prior to 9/11 by none other than the Federal Reserve itself? Probably not. Well, you might not. I wasn't. But you probably have friends that will be. So if you can let people know, hey, this is what's going on. You're not going to sound as crazy at this point as you might have sounded a year or so ago even. Paul Craig Roberts, interviewed by Stephen Lendman on the strange deaths of SEAL Team 6. This is another issue that, even though it didn't just happen yesterday, it generates interest. And people say, yeah, well, what did happen? Especially people in the military, especially people who have families in the military. Because the military might, hey, suck it up, this is your life now. But their families typically are not going to feel that way. Their mothers, their girlfriends. So, again, and their fathers too. So here we are with this issue, something that is not going to go away. And I'm glad that people are openly discussing it. Here's more of the problem. Are the big banks killing America? Sean from SGT report and Harley Schlanger discuss how the major banks are destroying America. It's a crafted plan. And if you have friends who are not aware of this, you can help them become aware. Here's more about the veil wearing more thin. Bernanke to be deposed in court over AIG bailout. That sounds like an interesting day in court, doesn't it? So there is a rumor that Bernanke is going to step down on September 1st. I've only heard that from web sources that are a little out there. I don't think I've seen that on any really mainstream source, but I've seen it on more than one alternative media source, and the more I see it, the more I'm beginning to believe, especially in light of that article. So here's some shocking news, more thin veil here, and they're causing it to thin on their side as well by making comments like this. MSNBC host says newborn infants don't count as alive unless parents decide they do. Infanticide is the new abortion. These kinds of comments, like I said, they are wearing the veil through themselves. And people can see, even if people believe abortion is okay, there aren't too many parents or grandparents who are going to go along with the killing of a newborn baby. There just aren't. If you've ever seen a newborn baby, held it in your arms, you know that it would be desperately wrong to harm that baby, that life. Just a little health news. What does heart surgery really cost, and why is it 70 times more expensive in the U.S.? And you've probably heard people from the U.S. are going to other countries to have surgery. It's typically called medical tourism. And it's, hospitals in many other countries are at least as safe, if not safer, than hospitals in the U.S. So if you can find a deal, it's cheaper overseas. Many people are going that way for dental work as well. And some alternative health procedures are illegal in the U.S. and you can have them done other places. And some of them are very effective. But you have to be careful. Just like you have to be careful of the FDA and some of the things that they approve in this country. Bayer and U.S. government knowingly gave HIV to thousands of children. And just if you have children or grandchildren, protect them. That's not the job of the FDA. The government has assumed that job, but that is your responsibility and your job to protect your children. So find out what's in stuff. Find reputable people and buy their stuff and stop buying the multinational pharma conglomerate stuff. Secret DARPA mind control project revealed, leaked document. Whistleblower reveals military mind control project at major university. More of the thin veil here, and it just happened to turn the AMC on one evening last week, and Conspiracy Theory, the old Mel Gibson film, was on. And it's just amusing to watch that now and see how many of the things that he said as a supposed crazy person in that film, because he was under mind control, how many of the conspiracy theories have proven out. So it's kind of a fun film to watch. Army scientists secretly sprayed St. Louis with radioactive particles for years to test chemical warfare. Again, I hope you're not trusting the government. Hope you're not following their recommendations. I hope you're not assuming that they are keeping you safe. If you want to be healthy, visit Natural News or DrU.info, some of these other health websites, Dr. Mercola, and you can find out how to truly be healthy. And it doesn't cost a fortune. It requires a little discipline and maybe some change in lifestyle, but it's within reach. Coconuts are the wonder food with a multitude of uses. It's so interesting. A few years ago, and somebody must have been preparing to sell canola oil or something. Do you remember the phrase tropical oils? Oh, tropical oils are dangerous. They're very high in fat, and we shouldn't, fast food restaurants shouldn't be frying things in tropical oils. Okay, well, you got your wish, because now they're frying things in canola oil, which most of which comes from genetically altered rapeseed, and your fast food is being cooked in GMO oils for the most part. So, oh, for the days of fast food frying in tropical oils, which now turn out, coconut oil anyway, to be very, very, very healthy. And if you're feeling stressed out, and as I talk about some of these subjects that the New World Order is breaking down, the veil that shields the cabal is wearing thin, I know there are people who want this to happen yesterday. In fact, there are people who want this to happen last year, 10 years ago, certainly before 9/11. But this is a big process, and as we watch things develop, it appears that the release is going to be bigger than we might have anticipated if it happened a year ago, 6 months ago, whenever. It feels like they are gathering a lot of things together under the heading of the change that's coming. And I do believe it's positive. I know removing the shackles, and some other people are saying that, watch out, it's just going to be reformed what we have now, reconstituted, whatever, more of the same. I can't entirely rule that out. However, if things are shifted, to me it's like somebody's tipping the snow globe upside down, and things are going to settle in new places, and it's incumbent upon us to help determine what things look like as we reform our U.S. constitutional republic. By our participation, active participation, we can see to it that we do have a better country, a better world. We need to be engaged in the process. At least that's what I think. The daily tour and most of my opinions are a presentation of She Who Will Walk in the Dark Productions, and we thank you for joining us for today's tour. The dawn is coming. Weeping may endure for a night, and it often does, doesn't it? But joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and insist on liberty.